Hello, one and all. My name is Ryan Bruce. My friends call me Fluff. And today on Riffs, Beards, and Gear, we're going to shoot out a Rev G and a multi-watt rectifier. So I've been slowly getting into the world of triple rectifiers, and I have a few examples here, and we're going to shoot them out. What I have is the Revision G triple rectifier, a very late 90s model, and then we have a brand new multi-watt triple rectifier from Mesa Boogie. We're going to see how they sound and how close we can get them to sound to each other. And before we go any further, this video is sponsored by Sweetwater. Sweetwater's got all the goods, including a multi-watt triple rectifier for all of your guitar-tastic, chug-tastic needs. I will link down below in the description if you'd like to go shopping for yourself, but all thoughts and opinions are still mine. All right, so I have my Revision G triple rectifier 2-channel, very, very late model. This is a 99 Rev G triple rectifier. And then of course I have the multi-watt triple rectifier. This is a brand new amplifier. Now I will point out, just so because someone will ask, these both have these stock tubes in them. The Rev G triple rectifier has new old stock Chinese Shugawang 8th gen preamp tubes and the applicable power tubes, the Chinese power tubes, okay? And the triple rectifier multi-watt has, of course, the stock JJ tubes that come in it. Again, this is a brand new amplifier, and we're going to see if we can dial both the orange channel and the red channels and see how close we can get them. I don't know if we can or not, but that's the fun of it. So we're going to start with the Revision G orange channel vintage high gain. I'm not boosting yet. I will let you know when I do. I'm going to dial the orange channel a little bit more top end, a little bit more mids, a little less bass. Now on the Revision Gs, you have to have a lot of presence because the vintage channel is very, very warm, right? Multi-watt, I'm on vintage mode on channel 2. This is the same mode as what the Revision G is on. Right away, you can hear tons more mid-range in the multi-watt, and I haven't even touched it yet. I don't know if we can get that much mid-range out of the Revision G, but we're going to get as close as we can. And also notice the mid-range on the multi-watt is at about 1 o'clock, whereas the mid-range on the Revision G is almost full up. But notice the mid-range sits a little higher in the Rev G than the multi-watt. I think we need a little bit more top end. The Rev G, a little bit more presence. And you know what? Let's go ahead and max out that mid-range. I really, really like the mid-range of the multi-watt. It really is, just sounds great. The Rev G has a thickness and the girthiness in the low end that I do like. Let's turn on a boost. Let's turn on a Boss Super Overdrive. See, now I'm really quanky, so I'm actually going to turn the mid-range down on the multi-watt. The multi-watt seems to have, just a lot more top end, which I do enjoy, a lot more mid-range. And I think the bass is less muddy, even with the boost. The Rev G is still a little thick. We could dial down that low end a little bit, go back to the G and see what we get. All right, that's the orange vintage gain on both the multi-watt and the Rev G. I don't know which one I prefer. I probably prefer the multi-watt at this moment. I'm feeling the mid-range. That's really, really nice. Let's switch the amps over to the red modern modes and see what we find there. All right, so starting with the Revision G, here is our starting point for the red channel. I'm going to turn down the low end a little bit more. I'm going to bump the presence and turn up the treble just a smidge. I'm also going to almost max out the mid-range. Let's go to the multi-watt. I'm going to turn up the master on the Rev G just slightly. I don't want the multi-watt to have a volume advantage because there's a little bit of a discrepancy in the volume. Let's see how they bounce now. Pretty close, to be totally honest. I could do without some more low end on the multi-watt. Do a little less low end on the Rev G as well. Let's try introducing a boost. Again, I'm going to stick with the Boss Super Overdrive because it's simple and cheap and I love it. Multi-watt still has some top end that the Rev G does not. Let's bump up the presence, bump up the treble just a smidge, see what we have. I feel like these red channels are pretty close. Not exact, but they are certainly ballpark. Also, on the multi-watt, the mid-range is at about 130, almost 2 o'clock, whereas the mid-range on the Rev G is almost full up. I mean, it's like at 4 o'clock right now. So there is that. Let's go a smidgen less low end on both these amplifiers. Leaving the boost on. Here's what we got. They're pretty close. I mean, the multi-watt has a little bit more top end, a little bit more mid-range. However, the Rev G hangs in there quite well, but I am really impressed with the multi-watt at this moment. So what do I think? Honestly, I've had the multi-watt triple rectifier for just a couple of days. I am thoroughly impressed by it. We all knew the multi-watt was a great amplifier as far as the rectifier lineage goes. However, the triple does a thing that the duals do not. It has a little tighter low end, and it's just more headroom, and it's just kind of cleaner sounding, if that makes sense. I really love the mid-range of the multi-watt. If I had to choose between these two amps right now to go play a show or record, I'm choosing the multi-watt. As much as I love this Revision G, and this is a very, very good example of a Revision G. This thing sounds amazing. Also has a Testament inventory sticker on the back. I think this is once owned by Testament. But the Rev G also does a very unique thing, and it's a classic sound, of course. However, for my money, I like the mid-range of the multi-watt in this particular scenario. Take that for what you will. I will link down below in the description if you'd like to know more about the lineage of the rectifier or want to check out more information on a multi-watt for yourself. And with that, you've been wonderful. I've been Fluff. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.